I was going to say, Alex Jones, the best thing he said was we've lost our communities in that film Fall of the Republic. That's the best thing he said. But there are a couple of red flags. He promoted gold 10 years ago. It hasn't gone anywhere. And two, his interview with Peter Joseph. Because I support the Zeitgeist Movement more than I support this one.
When I was growing up, people were talking on their front porches, neighbors were playing baseball, there were nightly barbecues. You don't see that anymore. We've lost our communities. You drive through neighborhoods, you see the blue glow of television sets. We're losing our humanity. So if you want to rebel against the globalists, the social engineers, start by turning the TV off a few hours a day and actually getting to know your neighbors, getting outside that comfort zone, expanding your horizons. By coming together as communities, by getting to know our neighbors, we defeat the social engineers.
If you took somebody right now and froze them in ice, and you had them re-thought out and rejuvenated 1,000 years from now in say, a resource-based economy, they would be completely obsolete. They would not know what to do. Their value systems would be, their conditioning would be absolutely obtuse. And then something would have to happen. This is a value system issue.
What would have to happen?
Something would have to happen where the person would be reconditioned in some way. It's the point.
Re-educated?
The point is the value systems are too different.
I've heard all this before. That's the problem, Peter.
So that very obvious example of taking, say, a caveman from thousands of years ago and thawing them out in modern day today, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see how difficult the conditioning, the reconditioning of that individual would be to bring them to a level where they can understand the society. There's a literacy element, and that's what education is. But, of course, Alex and his grand dementia turned it into this.
The head of it told me, he said, if I didn't agree with what they wanted, I would be put in re-education.
But then again, it's also not without a vindictive pathology, once again, as he restates the fact that he did invite me back on the show, and here's what he had to say.
Here's the deal. I invited Peter Joseph as stage name or whatever on like a year ago. I said, look, we fought 5-6 years ago. I want to have you back on. And he said, fine, but you must renounce that I ever said you're going to go to a re-education camp. Or that I would be re-educated. And he sent me the video, and I went and looked at it. Like he says on the video that, but I was like, he was like, no, I didn't. You must renounce it. And I was like, well, fine. You're all powerful, you know, and everything. I will not renounce it. I will not. I'm a heretic. But he did say that.
For those that aren't aware of what cognitive pathology is, and it's very easy to confuse it with just someone being, well, a dick. Cognitive pathology has to do when people lack a certain perception and they're constantly cloaking their views with their own presuppositions and they can't break out of it. I could be wrong. He might have just extremely dishonest ulterior motives, but everything about his personality screams cognitive pathology. I'm willing to go back on his show. You know, I might have my problems with him. I might very honestly think he needs some serious psychiatric help. But if he is indeed able to scrounge up some integrity with respect to this blatant dishonesty and malicious intent towards myself and the movement and retract those statements I pointed out, then that would be great. However, that's not going to happen. Alex Jones has built a multi-million-dollar delusional empire based on fear. So for those out there that follow Alex, ask yourself one question. What solution is he actually offering you? And as a closing point, you know, if you guys want to see solutions in this world that's falling apart, I strongly suggest you think outside of the box. People like Alex Jones, 100% establishment, absolutely no different in form and communication in the broad scheme as Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, or Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh. These dinosaurs of thought have nothing to offer you. If you want to change the world, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So I strongly suggest those take an honest look at the Zeitgeist Movement, put aside all of the surface criticisms and propaganda that you see online, and actually digest it for yourself with detached logic and reason.